In the previous video, we discussed about basic syntax and declaration of a function pointer, and we discussed a very simple program which uses function pointer and the usage of type type along with function pointer like we do with structures and unions. Next topic, passing a function pointer to another function, that is passing function pointer as a parameter to another function and returning function pointer from another function. So we will discuss these two topics in this video. It's simple, straightforward. So let's look into the code. Here you can see I declared a function pointer called funcptr and use type type to create a data type from the existing type. So this funcptr can hold the address of a function which need two integer as its input parameter and which will return an integer. So basically, if you look to the below code, you know obviously what I'm going to do. I'm going to store this add function and product function address inside this funcptr because both of them have two integer as their argument and they both of them return an integer. Let us focus how we use this function pointer or pass this function pointer as an argument to a function. So here you can see a function called compute_func. So this compute_func function has three parameters. First one is a pointer ptr1 which is actually of the data type funcptr. This is why I said that in the previous video, try to use type type with funcptr because you can define a data type from an existing data type. Anywhere in this code, whenever you need a function pointer of this syntax, you can declare it with using this funcptr data type. So here you can see I declared a function called compute_func which will take an function pointer and two integer. Then it will simply use that function pointer to call the function whose address is passed as this function parameter. If you look at this main function, you can see that I am using this compute function to call add and product. I am simply passing the name of this function add and product to this compute_func because as you know, as we discussed in the previous video, just using a function name will give this address. So here we are passing an address of add function and product function. You can also put an ampersand symbol in front of it or simply the address of operator. If this program works correctly, it will give us 12 and 35 because 5 plus 2 is 12 and 5 plus 7 is 35. It's very basic. So let me run this code. gcc2. So you can see I got 12 and 35. That's how we pass a function pointer as a parameter to another function. It's very straightforward. So let's look at the other topic, that is returning function pointer from another function. So what will be the syntax look like? Is it difficult? No, it's actually straightforward. Just like passing function pointer as an argument to another function, returning function pointer from another function is also very straightforward. So let's look to the code, or I will be modifying this existing code to explain this next concepts. Let me split the window. Here you can see my new code. This code is similar to the code on the left side. So I'm not going to explain up to this section because you know that I just declared a function pointer which can actually hold the address of these two functions add and product, and the changes occur on this compute function because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another function which will return the address of these two functions. So basically, instead of passing the address of this add and product function directly to the compute function, now we will pass a character which simply denote the operation. So if I pass a plus sign or the plus character, this compute_func will call funcSelector and pass that character to this funcSelector. So this funcSelector, if you look into the definition of funcSelector, it needs a character as its argument and it will return funcptr. That means it will return a function pointer. You need to be very careful. This funcptr is actually a pointer, function pointer, which will return the address of a function which need two integer as its parameter and which will return an integer. So this is very important in the future video we will when we discuss typecasting of function pointer, I will tell you how we can typecast to different kind of functions. This compute func will call func selector by passing the opcode or simply this operational sign, which is usually characters. Here we will use a switch case to select or return the corresponding function address. So if it is a plus, it will return the address of add function, and if it is an asterisk, it will return the address of the product function. This returned address will be stored inside another variable called ptr1, which is actually a function pointer. Then we use that function pointer to call this corresponding function. It is very simple. Take a look into the code, you will understand it. Here I am passing this number 1 and num2 to this function pointer. It will subsequently call the corresponding function, either add or product, based on the opcode passed. Okay, let's check that. Here we should get 7 and 10. So you can see we get 7 and 10, of course. So there is another efficient method that will reduce the number of lines of code in this compute function and avoid this unnecessary function pointer ptr1. That is done by using this line of code here. So let me comment out the above two line. If you take a look into this code, it's very straightforward. First of all, we will call func selector function, which will obviously return an address of either add or product function. So once in this parenthesis, what we are doing is we are calling that func selector function, which will return the address of that add or product function based on the opcode. Then we will use that address or that pointer to call the corresponding add or product function. So by using this single line of code, we could replace two line of code, plus we can avoid a variable. So let me change the values here. So I am going to type it as 20. So now we should get 25 and 100. So let us check whether our function is working fine. So I am going to compare the program. So here you can see I got 25 and 100. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video, where we will discuss further more advanced topic like function pointer array, comparing function pointer and casting function pointer. See you soon.